Hey moms, dads, and guardians, wouldn't you love to have a parenting expert on speed dial? Someone to help you with the trickiest of tween-raising questions. Now you do. There's a brand new parenting podcast in the Starglow family that takes calls from listeners. It's called Parenting and You with Dr. Shefali. Dr. Shefali is a clinical psychologist, New York Times bestselling author, and also one of Oprah's favorite parenting experts. In each episode, the doctor will have one-on-one conversations with parents like you and help them navigate everyday parenting challenges. Follow and listen to Parenting and You with Dr. Shefali on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you already tune in to KidNuz on Starglow Plus, you'll get the good doctor ad-free. Happy listening!
Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, June 7th, 2024. And we begin with an active 10-year-old lacrosse player in Maryland able to play the game despite having cerebral palsy thanks to some enterprising teens. Stella Stacalosa uses a wheelchair and has limited use of her arm, so it was hard for her to handle the lacrosse stick. That's where a group of high school engineering students stepped in and spent the last semester creating a solution. After several discussions with Stella, they decided to put a special stick on her wheelchair with a trigger mechanism that allows her to launch a ball with an easy pull of the string. And it worked like a charm. Stella tells the Washington Post she's thrilled with the new hot pink stick and can't wait to use it for a game in her new adaptive league. Her mother adds this is pretty typical of Stella. Nothing has ever stopped her. The sports enthusiast is also into swimming, cheerleading, horseback riding, and now lacrosse. Several pro sports are entering the home stretch. The NBA Finals kicked off last night with the Boston Celtics taking on the Dallas Mavericks. In Paris, the French Open is winding down with the men's and women's finals this weekend. And hockey's Stanley Cup finals start tomorrow evening, featuring the Florida Panthers against the Edmonton Oilers, with extra pressure on the Oilers as it's been 31 years since a Canadian team last won the coveted cup. Also, as a warm-up, the first-ever Stanley Pup competition debuts tonight on the NHL Network. There will be 32 dogs taking part, one from each team's city, to bring attention to the need for local pet adoption. New York City is putting the brakes on congestion pricing. The city was scheduled to start charging a $15 toll at the end of the month for vehicles traveling in most parts of Manhattan during the busiest times of day. But Wednesday, the state's governor, Kathy Hochul, put the plan on indefinite hold. She said she was concerned about the rising cost of living and New York's economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Wall Street Journal reports that supporters of the concept are furious, saying a toll would help reduce traffic, improve air quality, and help fund mass transit upgrades. Congestion pricing has been used successfully in several European cities, but so far has not gone into effect anywhere in the U.S. While the famous Notre Dame is in the final stages of repair work after a devastating fire 5 years ago, a smaller version of the cathedral could soon be constructed in your living room. A few days ago, LEGO released a model of the iconic church, complete with rose windows, bell towers, and a towering central spire. The set has over 4,000 pieces, costs $230, and is designed for adults as part of a new collection featuring some of the world's most famous buildings. The Danish company is best known for its colorful play sets for kids, but in 2020, LEGO started an additional category for those 18 and older. And according to the New York Times, now about 20% of the company's sets for sale are intended for AFOLs, or adult fans of LEGO. In other KidNuz notes, it's the end of an era for one of the most popular game shows on TV. Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak is retiring today after 41 seasons and 8,010 episodes. And yes, that is the world record for longest-running host on the same show. The 77-year-old will be replaced by Ryan Seacrest, who also hosts American Idol. Longtime letter turner Vanna White will remain in her position on the Hangman-style puzzle show. Still to come, why it's a great day to indulge in a donut. But first, we want to shout out Jacob Montoya from Dallas, Texas, for completing 2 back-to-back Spartan races and for wrapping up a great year with Miss Emily Clement at Alcuin School. Jacob, your mom, dad, and big brother Jeremy can't wait to see what next year brings for you and your fellow Hawks. And that's not all. You've got a big birthday to celebrate. Your family wishes you a great day, and so do all of us at KidNuz. Now, today's quiz. What sport is 10-year-old Stella now able to play with a special wheelchair and stick? Lacrosse. Pat Sajak has hosted what TV game show for 41 years? Wheel of Fortune. How many dogs are taking part in the Stanley Pup adoption event? 32. The new Lego set of Notre Dame in Paris has how many pieces? More than 4,000. In our KidNuz Kicker, if you're looking for an excuse to treat yourself to a tasty donut, you're in luck because today is National Donut Day. But it has an interesting history that goes back over 100 years. During the First World War, volunteers with the Salvation Army in France were looking for a way to boost morale among homesick soldiers. So they decided to make donuts. Using the limited ingredients available, flour, sugar, and oil, they fried up hand-rolled donuts in a soldier's helmet, and after working all night, handed out several hundred the next morning. The donuts were such a hit, the Salvation Army created National Donut Day in 1938 to honor the so-called Donut Lassies. Today, many donut makers participate in the celebrations, offering discounted or free treats. And there are plenty who will snap up the fried dough. Americans devour over 10 billion donuts annually, which is an average of 33 donuts per person. Before we go, we want to thank the Montoya family of Dallas, Texas for sponsoring today's quiz, and shout out to Jacob for his 7th birthday and for successfully wrapping up another school year. And a big KidNuz hello to our terrific teachers, Mrs. Durand and her Spartans at Ocean Township Intermediate in Ocean Township, New Jersey. Mr. Williams and his Seagulls at Georgetown Middle School in Georgetown, Delaware. Mrs. Awe and her Tigers at William Hatch in Oak Park, Illinois. And Miss Reese and her Moose at Mason and Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. Thanks for listening. Remember to look for our weekly word search in your emails and our Week in Review quiz, along with a new Noodler worksheet up on our website. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz Monday morning.